On today's episode of The Front Row, we are at the Texas Tech University School of Theater and Dance. Our special guest is Dr. Bill Gelber, who is professor of theater here at the School of Theater and Dance, and he is producing Shakespeare's Hamlet. We want to visit with him about that and a lot of other things today. Bill, welcome to The Front Row. Thanks for being our guest.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So, for folks, just to get a better acquaintance with you, tell us a little bit about you and your journey through theater that has brought you to the point of doing Hamlet.
Right. Well, years ago when I was 22, I played Hamlet. And our current Hamlet's 21, so he has me beat by a whole year. I think I didn't know what I was getting into. I was too young to understand that it's a monumental part. But he's wonderful in it. So going from that to this and having wanted to do this for a long time, it's just a nice culmination of things. I've been in it 2 other times, but I played smaller roles, so I know the play pretty well. And in fact, I need to apologize to my stage manager because every once in a while, when people started asking for a line, I would pop off with it, right, and go, "Oh, I'm sorry." Because I seem to remember large swaths of it still.
That's great.
But ever since then, I've done a lot of Shakespeare. I had done a little before, and I've directed and I've acted in it. So it's been a joy of mine to explore his works.
Yeah. When did you first get bit by the theater bug?
I was 5, and all the other kids were getting all these great roles in The Night Before Christmas, Donner, Blitzen, those great roles. And I didn't have anything, and I was worried that I wouldn't be in it. And the teacher finally came up to me. There were 2 of them, actually, and they said, "You're Santa Claus." And so...
Oh, my gosh.
So I had no idea that they even know I existed, much less that they wanted me to do that. So they saw something in me, I guess, when I was 5 that I didn't see. And didn't see again for a long time, but I did have a lot of fun with that. And I had my first ad lib because apparently the reindeer got a little rambunctious, and so I had to say, "Whoa!" The audience loved that for some reason. But anyway,
where did you grow up?
I'm an Army brat.
Okay.
So I've grown up I was born in Japan, and actually I visited my birthplace this past year. In February, Camp Zama, Japan, an Army base. And then I lived in Maryland, and we went back and forth between Maryland and Texas. And I went to Germany for 3 years, which was great. I was 5, 6, and 7. So I didn't appreciate it as much as I do now that I've been back. But those were good days. And I think one of the things I learned from that was how to make friends pretty quickly, because I would move as much as a year at a time. And you'd just start over.
Yeah.
And so I had run into a friend of mine recently who sadly has since passed, but we had known each other for a long, long time, 39 years we hadn't seen each other since, we were in 7th grade. And he said, the first thing you said to me, and I said, "What was that?" We were waiting on the bus take us to Anson Jones, and I turned to him and I said, "You like comic books?" And then that was how we became friends. So apparently that was one of my opening conversational gambits,
right? Right there, yeah. Well, cool. Where did you go to college?
I went to Samuelson State for 2 years first, and then I ended up actually finishing at University of Houston with my BA in drama. And then I went to Texas A&M, which made my father very happy. And I got a master's in educational curriculum and instruction. And at the same time, I had been interviewing to be a part of the cohort for the directing program, the MFA in directing at UT Austin. And so after I finished my master's, I reapplied for that. I had applied too late, and I reapplied and got in. So I was there doing that, and then Oscar Brockett was there, who wrote the history of theater. And I had taken some classes with him, and I said, I really like to think I'd like to think about, working on my PhD with you. And he said, well, you do have to apply, So I did apply, and I did get in, and I did get my PhD. So,
Great.
So I've been all over the place, and including at rival schools to our own beloved Texas Tech.
Right. But here you are, professor of drama here or professor of theater, I guess, at Texas Tech University.
Mm-hmm.
How did it come that you wound up with a show that you'd already had experience with Hamlet? How that came about for you?
Well, we have a season selection process, and we try to balance the needs of the students and the programming with marketing. There are a lot of logistical elements, but when I mentioned that I'd love to do this, there was a pretty happy groundswell of approbation, saying, "Hey, let's do this." So it worked out very well.
Great. You obviously wanted to do it.
Mm-hmm.
What is it about Hamlet that is attractive to you? What has piqued your interest over the years?
Well, as I've said to Jackson Chapman, who's playing it right now, Hamlet is a suit that fits a lot of actors. And whoever plays Hamlet, that's Hamlet. Because so much of your own personality has to go into playing that young man. Well, and it can be played by young women, of course. It really is open to a lot of interpretations. And so this will be his. And he will go on this journey, and is going on this journey, of discovery and experiencing things within the play that he might otherwise not experience. In some cases, I hope he doesn't, but of course there are all these experiences that we have that, make us who we are, that are sadder in some cases. But he's getting to see the whole range of what might happen to someone like him in certain situations. And Hamlet is philosophical, it's exciting, it's a murder mystery, it's a romance. It has so many different elements, and of course it's a tragedy. So I won't be spoiling anything, but since it's a tragedy, you can imagine it might not end well. And we aren't changing the ending, so there you are. But Hamlet is, every time I come back to it to study it, and I studied it all summer, you always find new things in it, no matter how long you look at it. One of the things I was doing is also trying to make an edit of it. The Eternal Hamlet, as they call it, uncut, is 4.5 hours long.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And so I wanted it to be 2 hours, 2:15, something like that. And it's pretty close to that.
Okay.
And I think it still includes all the elements that people expect from it,
Mm-hmm.
and a rip-roaring story. But it'll be much shorter. It'll be about half the length of the full Eternal Hamlet, which nobody really does. I mean, the movie that Kenneth Branagh made had every line in it. And so, you can stop the DVD or whatever,
right,
or the streaming, and go away and come back.
Right.
But I saw it in the theater, and they had an intermission for it.
Yeah.
Because it was a big film.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
So, as you said, there's a lot of room for interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
What do you sort of envision? Like, are you going to leave it? Are you going to leave it where it is? Are you going to move it? What do you think?
Well, our theme is classics reimagined, and one can often reimagine any of the classics in various ways. I think this is a fairly straightforward telling of the play, but it is set in a different period. I really took to these images of this production of War and Peace that was done recently, and it had all of those elements of militaristic and romantic, and I showed these to the designers, and we all kind of agreed to go in that direction. So one of the things I noted, and this is what I mean by discovering things, is that King Claudius, at the beginning of the play, has hired these mercenary guards just for himself. He's very paranoid about being king because he's not supposed to be. Mm-hmm. Hamlet is supposed to be.
Right.
So these Switzers, these mercenary soldiers from Switzerland, he's hired them himself, and they're only for his protection. And he even says at one point in the complete play, "Where are my Switzers?" when he's being attacked. So we have Switzers in our play, and we have him in charge of and in control of a place that he's very much controlling through militaristic means, I'd say. So at the beginning of the play, Laertes asks to go back to France, and the king approves of it, signs something. And then Hamlet wants to go back to Wittenberg to study, and he says no. So he decides who leaves the country and who doesn't.
Right.
He wants to keep his enemies close.
Right.
Right?
Exactly. Right. Well, who plays Ophelia?
Oh, Tennille is a wonderful actress who you'll really love.
I'm sure she's having a field day with that.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, those mad scenes. You always have to decide what that is. And it's been played in a lot of different ways. But I think the mad scene that she does, it's actually a couple really, is used as a comparison to Hamlet, who says he's going to act as if he's crazy. And so you can see the difference between someone who really has gone crazy and someone who's pretending to be so.
Yeah.
And sometimes, Hamlet kind of slips over the boundary a little bit, But it's nice for the audience, and I think Shakespeare was clever about this, to have that opportunity to contrast them. Right. But she's doing a wonderful job. She has some songs, and she has a beautiful voice. And I should talk about that too in a minute if you'd like, about the songs. But she's just heartbreaking. I think one of the things that our actors have done, James as Polonius and Josh as Laertes, and then Tennille, is to create a very loving family, so that as the tragedy unfolds, it's all that much more terrible, because that family is destroyed. Spoiler alert. But you see what they were before everything goes wrong.
Right. Tell us about the songs with Ophelia.
Well, we were very lucky that Dr. Angela Mariani Smith was interested in helping us, because she's an expert on music from that period. And I thought, well, even though we are setting it further along, to have that kind of atmosphere might be really wonderful. And she knows what all of those songs mean and what Shakespeare was doing with them. It's very funny, because what he's referring to songs that everybody knew at the time, but he's rewriting them. So it's as if he's taken these popular songs and put his own lyrics to them. Not quite like Weird Al, but but they're meant to be entertaining in that sense. That the moment people hear the tunes, they're going to know what the song means.
Right.
Because the original song means something. Right. So when she has these mad songs, she's actually singing things that give clues to the audience as to her state of mind. And Dr. Mariani came up with all of that. They also were kind enough to have a concert of all the songs for us and for the public. They did a recital. They added some other Shakespeare songs as well, but they invited us, and we took the night off from rehearsal to go and see this wonderful event, which they created for the students, of course, but also we felt like it was a special thing for us.
Right. One of the things I've loved most is in being in England and being able to see several Shakespeare plays, to have some of the very best of the early music folks join in and provide, interstitial music for the plays.
Right.
And in addition to giving them employment.
But that's right. That is right.
But it really makes the plays fabulous. And when I heard that Angie was going to work with you, I just thought, this is so good, and you've been able to tie that in with the songs that Shakespeare has. It's so good.
Well, the fact that she worked with us on Twelfth Night, and they actually had a group on stage playing all of that music, was also such a benefit. And in that case, they were live. I think all of this will be recorded, but they. It adds so much to it. I remember the first time I went over as a student, because I was working on a thesis on Shakespeare, and my thesis advisor said, well, you have to go over and see some things, of course. And I said, I did not complain. But every Shakespeare show I had live music.
Good. Yeah.
And that made, as you said, an enormous difference.
Oh, yeah. It's really great. Well, we're coming up against the constraints of time, so let me ask you for times and dates in this production of Hamlet here at the School of Theater and Dance.
Well, we are starting next week, the night before Halloween, October 30th, and we're running through November 2nd, the first week. So we will have Tuesday through Saturday at 7:30 and a matinee at 2. We will also play the following week, November 6th through 7th, and we will not have a show on Saturday night because of the football game.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll have another matinee on the 9th.
All right. So there's plenty of opportunity.
Yes,
yeah.
many.
Right.
We also have a preview, of course, for students who can get in free with an ID, with a tech ID, and that's usually a great night because they're so responsive.
Sure.
But it's a chance for them to see it for free, and in fact, they can always get free tickets because they pay for all of these things with their fine arts fees.
Right.
And so if they get there early enough, say an hour before the box office, then they sign a waiting list, and usually they can get in.
Get in. That's
Yeah.
great. Excellent. For folks who want to come and get tickets, how is the best way to do that?
I would say to call the box office or to come by and see our new theater because,
why
you know,
Yeah,
some
sure.
people haven't seen it, I don't
Right.
think. But the number is 806-742-3603. That'll take you straight to the box office. And you can leave a message. You can also order online at www.theater.ttu.edu.
That's easy. Theater.ttu. TTU.edu. Is it the English spelling of theater?
It is,
Okay,
yes,
just
it's
in case.
R-E. You know, you have a point.
Just
You
in
have
case,
a point.
just in
Yeah, it
case.
used to be that just meant the building, but now
Right.
now they use it for everything.
Everything. That's right. Great. Excellent. Dr. Bill Gelber is directing Shakespeare's Hamlet here at the Texas Tech University School of Theater and Dance, and our special guest on the front row today. Bill, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
your time today.
I appreciate it, and I hope lots of people come see the show.